Has filed thousands of cases across many courts, often in bulk and sometimes with hundreds of defendants per case. He filed lawsuits in many different U.S. federal districts, often moving when courts restricted him. Many cases were dismissed quickly or never fully digitized. Some filings included hundreds of defendants in a single case, making counting difficult. Here are verified lawsuits from court dockets. Federal court cases. Riches v. Federal Reserve Bank al. Justia dockets and filings. Riches v. Dan Rather and CBS. Justia dockets and filings. Riches v. Daniel Day-Lewis. Justia dockets and filings. Riches v. William Lerick. Justia dockets and filings. Riches v. Russell Brand, Katy Perry, etc. Justia dockets and filings. Riches v. Anil Ambani al. Justia dockets and filings. These are just a tiny sample of thousands. Notable defendants he has sued. Across his filings, he has named a huge range of defendants, including real people and organizations. George W. Bush, Bill Belichick, Martha Stewart, Michael Vick, Steve Jobs, Britney Spears, Jeff Gordon. Immigration and Naturalization Service. Bizarre, non-traditional defendants. Reports and filings show he has also sued historical figures, entire groups, objects and places. Sometimes hundreds of defendants in one complaint. Scale of his litigation. 2,600 plus lawsuits confirmed in federal courts. Claims of 3,000-4,500 plus filings overall. At one point called the most litigious inmate by media. Most of his lawsuits were considered frivolous and dismissed quickly. Multiple courts imposed filing restrictions on him. Justia dockets and filings. His cases often lacked legal basis or targeted impossible defendants. Only partial lists and examples can be compiled. He is notable mainly for the sheer volume and unusual nature of his filings, not for successful cases. Jonathan Lee Riches became infamous not just for how many lawsuits he filed, but for how completely bizarre many of them were. Here are some of the weirdest, most absurd lawsuits he filed, with real examples pulled from court records and reports. Wildest lawsuits by Jonathan Lee Riches. Suing people who don't exist. Dracula. The Easter Bunny. Santa Claus. Yes, he actually filed complaints naming fictional or mythical characters as defendants. Suing the dead. Adolf Hitler. Plato. Courts obviously cannot proceed against deceased historical figures, but that didn't stop him. Suing entire groups or vague entities. Somali pirates. The Amish. Terrorist organizations and broad unnamed groups. These filings often didn't specify individuals, just entire populations. Suing objects, places, or concepts. The Eiffel Tower. Various prisons and buildings. Abstract ideas and systems. In some complaints, even places were treated as if they could be defendants. Suing entertainment and fictional universes. Characters from pop culture. Companies and fictional settings tied to movies and games. These cases often mixed reality with fiction in ways that made no legal sense. Suing massive numbers of people at once. One lawsuit reportedly named over 3,700 defendants in a single filing, including celebrities, politicians, athletes, random individuals. Imagine a single lawsuit trying to sue thousands of unrelated people simultaneously. Celebrity lawsuits. He filed suits against a wide mix of public figures, including Britney Spears, Kanye West, Steve Jobs, Michael Vick. The claims were often incoherent or unrelated to reality. Completely surreal claims. Some lawsuits allegedly included claims like being exposed to mind control, time travel type allegations, vast conspiracies involving unrelated people. Why courts took action? Because of filings like these. Courts labeled him a vexatious litigant. He was banned or restricted from filing in multiple jurisdictions. Most cases were dismissed immediately. Bottom line. The weirdest part isn't just who he sued, it's that he sued fictional characters, dead people, objects, and thousands at once. Many filings ignored basic reality and legal rules. That's why Jonathan Lee Riches is often considered one of the most unusual litigants in legal history. Objects and locations. The Eiffel Tower. The Garden of Eden. The Lincoln Memorial. 3 Mile Island. The Roman Empire. The Holy Grail. The book, The Hobbit. I Can't Believe It's Not Butter, were also on the list.